All right, we are live. Boop, 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 boop. And we are now live on Instagram. Want to know what your business is worth? DM or comment me clarity. I mean, that's true. You should probably do that if you want to know what your business is worth. How do I take that thing out? Do I delete it? Doesn't matter. Oh, no, that's not how I do it. Okay. Hide. All right, got it. All right, guys. So, welcome Friday Live. Here we are. Let's do this. Let's rock and roll. And yeah, so what I want to talk about is, I don't know, what do you guys want to talk about? I'm always looking for questions. If you guys want to ask me questions, whatever it is, please go ahead, feel free, and go ahead and ask a question about whatever it is that you want to ask me. What I'm doing today is, well, quite frankly, building a business. Yeah, building a business. There's one thing that I want to talk about. All right. What's up, Kelsey? One thing that I wanted to discuss that Kelsey will actually know about is something that has been shared with us. And I keep telling my actual team this. Now, long time ago, I would say that I would have been discouraged if I saw that my team was pursuing something else besides actually working for me. So everybody's got other interests. Everybody's got other things that they do. And I've got a couple people on my team that actually have little small businesses that they run on the side. I'm the kind of business owner where as long as you're getting your work done, we set very, very high standards at the company. And if they want to have a side hustle, like, that's great. I think that's fine. I think that's awesome. And I encourage it. And I give them advice all the time. And, one person on my staff, Mariana, shout out to Mariana, is she's got a side hustle, a business that she's had for quite a while where she makes really, really cool scarves. And if she joins on, she's more than welcome to leave a link and she can share it. I don't have it with me here offhand, but it's pretty cool. She sells, she lives in Mexico. She's my executive assistant and she sells scarves and different stuff to wear. I can't even think of the word right now. And a lot of it is geared towards bullfighting. She lives in Mexico. And it's really cool stuff, scarves and hats and shirts and different things like that. Well, she told me that she got an order in from a very special client, and she told the client that she would do it herself because this is a very special client, and the client said that she needed it fast. And now she's got, while she's on a little mini vacation with her family, she's got to sew like, I don't know how many scarves. And I told her, I thought I told you. Here's what I learned. Here's the quote. Quote is, rich people spend money for more time. Poor people spend time for more money. What does that mean? If you work in construction, you're a labor worker or whatever, you're getting paid by the hour and you're getting paid at the end of the day for the amount of time that you put in for your work, as opposed to taking the money that you do have, spending it on someone else to go ahead and do that for you so that you have more time to do something else. This can go many different ways. You could spend money for more education. You could spend money for more tools, for more automations and different things so that you could get more time. She understands the concept, and it was very simple. In this case, she's actually sewing everything. In another case is she had somebody help with a lot of the administrative stuff. Told her the same thing. This was a while ago. I told her the exact same quote. And we broke it down too. I said, okay, you're worried because you can't afford it. How do people buy the scarves? She said they typically pay half up front and half after it's complete. Apparently they're all custom made scarves. Pretty cool. Man, where is Mariana? So she could leave a link and maybe get some more sales. Do you have tips on how to draw the line for special clients or family friend requests? Well, that's where I'm at. But thank you for assisting me with the show, Kelsey. And I said, okay, great. So they pay 50% up front. You need to calculate paying your assistant or whoever it is to help you from the 50% that you get up front so that the second 50% could be money in your pocket. That first 50%, if you could manage that first 50% to pay the administrator and pay for your materials, even better, the next 50% goes in your profit. That's quite the profit margin that you have. And even if of the 50%, an additional 20% has to go towards the materials, that's okay too. You still have left over. But I would try to do all 50% for materials and for the labor or so. And the same thing can go for somebody to actually do the scarves. Why? Because now if you could be at a 30% net profit margin, and this is after all of your expenses, you're sitting pretty. You're doing pretty good. All right. 20%, I would say, is probably the minimum. 30%, you're sitting pretty. So even if she's getting 50% up front, she's basically paying for pretty much everything from that first payment. So now all there is after that is just waiting to get paid once it's done. So, in a business where you could actually make money before you actually provide the service is fantastic. I'm not going to say it's easy money, but it makes life a lot easier because you could, frankly, not have to worry about being negative, right? That's always the issue. That's always the issue that I had with public adjusting in claims where, you just got to literally fork out everything until God hoping if and when the actual claim gets paid. And that's no bueno, right? So one thing that we're doing here behind the scenes with the exit strategy, exit advising, and the brokering, when I came into the brokering, I realized, well, wait a minute, this is a very similar model to claims industry, where if someone on here decides that they want to sell their business, they come to me because they want me to broker the whole deal. I got to market it. I've got to sit with you. I've got to evaluate the business. I've got admins that I have to pay. We've got to sit with potential buyers. We've got documents to sign, NDAs. We've got to, again, put it on the market, create all the marketing material, go through the negotiations. 9 months minimum is what it takes to sell a business. And I don't get paid until we're at the closing table and the money gets transferred. Get the hell out of here. That doesn't make any sense. And that's the reason why I've become a certified exit planning advisor, because, the idea there, and what's beauty about it is I came up with the idea already before I got the SEPA designation, which I'm very excited about. I need to start putting that next to my name. But what the SEPA designation allows me to do is now advise as well. What do I do with the advise? It starts with a value clarity report, also known as a triggering event. So if you're at all thinking about selling your business, I personally believe that if you want to get full value for it, you should spend at least 6 months minimum. To be honest, that number should probably be a year. Call it a year. 1 to 3 years, you should be preparing to ultimately exit your business. And mind you, there's like, I have a video that came out. I don't think it came out. I actually recorded it already, so it'll be coming out soon, about the different options, the different exit options, like selling it to your management team, selling it to your employees, selling it to your family, minority exit, majority exit, selling it to private equity, staying on, getting 2 bites of the apple. Like, there's just so many different ways that you can sell your business that everybody thinks that when they sell their business, they're exiting their business and that's it. They're gone forever. No, you don't have to do that. If you really enjoy the work and you have an opportunity to scale, that's an opportunity to actually sell a portion of that business to inject cash flow and actual professionals and organization and systems and operations to inject it. But that's not my point. My point that I'm trying to make is the fact that you should start exit planning from the beginning. And the way my business model is, which, by the way, still tweaking it a little bit, still trying to make it just right. But you need to start anywhere from 1 to 3 years. We've already picked up several clients. I'm very excited about it. And we start with the value clarity report. We start with the triggering event. What is that? That's actually 1 to 2 days of my time, about 2 to 3 hours each day, where I'm going to dive into your overall readiness, your personal readiness, your financial readiness, your business readiness. We're going to dive in and do a very, very, very detailed strategic valuation of your company. We're going to figure out what your wealth gap is. We're going to figure out what the business's value gap is. We're going to figure out what the business's profit gap is. This is everything I've learned, not only over time as an entrepreneur, but really books that I've read and getting the amazing designation of the SEPA designation. And you're going to have cool reports, cool charts, cool stuff. And not only are you going to actually get a physical copy of that report, will be mailed to you and sent to you by email for you to see. It's a beautiful thing. You'll also have a dashboard online where you can see the valuation, the gaps, and all the cool different things. And then I give you a 90-day sprint. I give you literally, here's the next 3 to 5 things that you need to do over the next quarter to increase the valuation. Now, what does that cost? Between $3,000 and $5,000. What is that? Money up front. And by the way, have to pay me 50% up front. When the report is completed, you have to pay the next 50%. Then it's what all potential buyers want when looking for a business to purchase. Recurring revenue. We have a community that we've built for founders, for business owners that want the attention. Okay. So I give you this value clarity report. I give you this amazing report for you to implement yourself. However, it's very difficult to implement it without some help. Now, thankfully, we've got Kelsey Dangerfield watching. Shout out to you, Kelsey. She is an integrator. She can help you implement all those things amongst other things as well. We've got other people on my team that are quite frankly remarkable that I could refer you to. Or you could just say, you know what, I just want to focus on this exit advising and what I'm providing, which is quarterly we meet and we review your last 90 days and I give you a new 90-day sprint. And we have weekly group calls where it's just all about exit planning. It's all about increasing the value of your business. All those calls are recorded. You can show up or you don't have to show up and you could watch it later and you could ultimately get a ton of advice. Thankfully, I've got a ton of white papers from SEPA that really break down also everything that you need to do, that we're putting that together. That's going to be in the community as well. And for that, you have to pay a monthly fee. Right now, I think it's too cheap, but that's okay. It's just $500 a month for 1 year. And I basically guarantee that we will unlock 20% of new value, of increased value. So from the original value, I guarantee that if you follow the steps and you do everything that you're told to do every single quarter, that you will increase 20% of the initial value that you received at your triggering event and in your value clarity report. How about that? In my opinion, that's a no-brainer. So I was just talking to a business owner now and we signed him up and I'm pretty excited. It's a very, very prestigious academy, I'm just going to say, down in South Florida. And I'm excited. Older gentleman. And he's not in any rush. And that's perfect. That's perfect. And, you know, depending on what we find out in the triggering event and completing this report is when I start bringing in my team. I could start bringing in the Kelsey Dangerfields over here, who is an integrator, focuses on systems and operations. I could bring in the Allisons, actually, that I have a podcast with, who's a CMO, fractional chief marketing officer. I could bring in financial advisors. I could bring in accountants. I could bring in estate planning attorneys to help to make sure that if they die tomorrow, that their business will be taken care of. Every single business owner that I've asked, what would happen to your business if you died tomorrow? They've all said that it'll be done. There's nobody to actually run it. There's no buy-sell agreement with themselves and the business on exactly what happens to the actual entity of the business if they were to die tomorrow. And those are some pretty important things. It's funny how a lot of us will prepare our lives for death, disability, divorce, and all that stuff, but we won't actually prepare our business for it, which is, I get it. I've been there. And now that I really have learned a lot of this stuff, I understand it's important. So the point I'm trying to make initially is that to build a good business, well, initially the point was to spend money for more time to create cooler things. And then the second point was the cooler things are building a business that you can sell, which is getting money up front, right? So like having a product, having a recurring revenue model, but then when it is time to sell, now I can go ahead and broker the deal, and I don't mind waiting, however long I need to wait, because quite frankly, at least there's already been some revenue generated on the front end. And quite frankly, I'm really passionate about the exit advising. It's much more, I don't know, it's just more of a relationship that I get to build with the owner. The first meeting I ever had when I first started brokering was amazing, because I remember I just speak your language, man. I just speak that language. So I think it's the years of experience. It's all the podcasts that I've done talking to business owners and talking to founders and stuff. By the way, when did founders become such a cool word? I don't know. I feel like that's kind of recent. Iron Mandre. So good to have these resources as a business owner. So needed. Absolutely. Thank you, Iron. So, very, very important. There was another quote that I wanted to also say that I can't remember right now off the top of my head, but that was one of them, guys. If you walk away with anything, I wonder if I could leave it here in a banner. I bet you I can. The quote is, rich people spend money for more time. Hold on a second. Rich people spend money for more time. Poor people spend time for more money. Save and show. How about that? How about that? What tips do you have to actually create time? Time. Onyx adjusting. Time. You cannot create if you do not have space and time. It's like literally impossible. If you are constantly working in the business, you will not have the time or the mental space to actually create anything. So if you want to be like, I need to create something, this normally doesn't happen, right? Usually creativity sort of comes, but hey, I need to be more creative. I want to create something. The best advice that I can give you is don't work for a couple days. Like legit, do the little things, but then just take a break. I always tell people that the best ideas that I have ever had have come on vacation. It's just facts. The best ideas that I have ever had have come on vacation. It's just, you got all this time and space now that you're just like, you're exploring, you're looking at new things. Really, for me, especially, you're reading new books, right? You're reading because you actually have the time to dive into a book. And when you're reading a book, nonfiction book, the ideas start coming. I mean, we went on a 2-month backpacking trip across Southeast Asia, and I wrote more notes in this freaking phone, or in the phone that I had at the time, than I've ever written in my entire life. You need space. And I will say this, rich people spend more money for more time. Poor people spend time for more money. Let's go. The break is where the ideas flow, Kelsey. I mean, it is true. It is a fact. By far, it is the best time that you could come up with ideas. Yeah, we went on that 2-month backpacking trip, and I think I probably crushed like 17 books. And, when you just have the time, I mean, you got literally 24 hours a day, 7 days a week where you're just not working anymore. And it's a pretty nice thing to do. Now, that was a little excessive. 2 months is a long time, but even here in your house, a new word, this kind of doesn't have anything to do with creativity, but it does have to do with working in your business and overworking, is I learned by having this is a conversation I had with somebody yesterday. I learned that by having several minor anxiety attacks, 6 months of therapy, and 2 weeks away from going bankrupt, for those that don't know that story, I'm not going to get into it now. I learned that the more that you do, and you do, and you do, and you do, and you do, it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't move the needle. I used to think that it did. I used to think that the more that you did and the more tasks you completed and the more this and the more that the more I would get done, the more I can move the needle. And it's the weirdest thing, but it's furthest from the truth. It really is furthest from the truth. It's pretty wild, because a lot of times you're just doing things to do things, and then you just stress yourself out and it makes you crazy. So what I have learned, and something that I have been telling myself a lot, this one word that I have been giving myself more and more and more, the older I get. Grace. Just grace. Giving myself grace. You don't have to be working right now. You don't feel like working right now. That's okay. Don't work. I told somebody the other day, last Saturday was funny. Friday night, my son sleeps over at grandma's house typically, right? So we have Friday night off, me and the wife. Saturday, we're pretty much chilling for most because he doesn't want to go. He literally just wants to stay there all day. So we won't pick him up till like the afternoon. And we watched on that Saturday. I'll never forget this. This is just 2 weeks ago. Are you ready for this, guys? I Netflixed and chilled and watched not one, not two, not three, but 4 movies. That's right. 4 movies. I'm an entrepreneur. I've got 3 businesses. I've got employees. I've got a whole team. And I spent a Saturday watching movies all day. And I kept asking myself, should I be doing this? Should I be reading a book, taking a course, learning something new, furthering myself, getting better? Because every day you got to get better. No. You know what I did? That morning, I got my workout in. That was all I needed to accomplish that day. And I decided I'm just going to like break off here and not think. And did a little bit of scrolling on social media, but not really. Watched 4 movies. One in which, by the way, is the guy that walks on the tightrope. You ever seen that movie? It's that guy that walked across the Twin Towers before they opened on a tightrope. I forgot what it's called, but that movie's awesome. I mean, it's not awesome, but it was good. It was good. How do I identify a business I create and scale to sell? Every business, you should be thinking with the end in mind. Every business, you should be thinking with the end in mind. Because, I'm gonna start using this. Exit strategy, guess what? Equals good business strategy. It's simple. Why? Because what you are doing is you are basically building a business, not only that you can sell, but here's what I say. A business that you can sell is a great business to own. And you should start building for exit now. Just watch my YouTube channel. It's all about it now. It's all about exit strategy, building that business with recurring revenue. It's not owner dependent. You've got good systems and processes. You've got your social media and your website and good Google business. I always mess that up. Google My Business reviews. And that right there makes it sellable. I have a story with a landscaping company that we sold for I think it was 4 or 5x for landscaping is really high. And it was completely owner dependent. Now, this goes against anything I say about not being owner dependent. But if you want to live a nice life and watch 4 movies on a Saturday, you're going to want to make sure that your business is not owner dependent. But my point is that it was completely owner dependent. And when we were sitting down for the initial interview, I'm like, dude, why do you want to sell? Why don't you just hire a manager? Why don't you just hire an operator? Why don't you just hire an integrator? And he's like, because I know that if I do, and I tried that before, I'm too much of a control freak and I can't lose control. I'm self-aware. I get it. And I know that I can do that, but I don't want to. I'd rather just sell now. Very profitable, very high. And by profitable, my very high gross margins, very high net profit margins as well. Just really good cash flow, a lot of recurring revenue. But guess what? I think it was 1 or 2,000 5-star Google My Business reviews. 5 stars, over 1,000. And that right there put the huge multiple on it. It was a recurring revenue plus the social presence, plus the community presence, plus the what I call social capital is what did it. It's pretty amazing how much it sold for. And it was completely owner dependent. So, but what do you do, right? The reason why I like the business as well, and I was thinking about buying it myself, was that with that kind of cash flow and with those 5-star reviews, I could literally hire somebody like I told him to do and hire an operator. Just hire an operator. If you could afford it, if you have to take a loan or whatever, if the numbers make sense, right? Then you just hire somebody for $100K, $120K a year. That has experience in that industry to run the sucker. So, overall, that's what it's all about. Exit strategy is good business strategy. And, quite frankly, I'm not going to lie. I've been an entrepreneur for 16 years. I have sold a company before years ago, and I scaled my public adjusting firm to well into the, 7 figures. And I've got a lot of experience when it comes to that. But I'm fairly new to this. I'm fairly new to the advising role, to the actual exit advising role. It's something that's new to me. Business brokering, it's something that's new to me, but I speak your language. And what am I doing to fast track all of this besides trying to get as much experience as possible is, man, I'm reading every day. If I could recommend a book, and as a matter of fact, if you are interested at all in exit strategy for your business, I will personally send you this book. Okay. Christopher Snyder, Walking to Destiny. All right. If you're on this live and you are interested in exit strategy, I would like to, you have a business. I don't care what the gross is. Typically my target is over $1 million in gross revenue and 3 years or more in business. But if you're not either of those and you're at all interested in exit strategy and really building your business properly the way you're supposed to, I want you to message me anywhere. I don't care. Message me. I don't know. Exit strategy. No, message me Walking to Destiny. And I'll send you the book. How about that? Add banner. I like these banners, man. That's a shout out to Chris Snyder, who is the owner of the Exit Planning Institute, to how I got my CEPA certification. I'm learning a lot more. I'm doing some more modules and stuff like that. And yeah, Iron Mandre. I don't know how I pronounce that, but message me, Walking to Destiny, and I'll be happy to send you a book. And anybody else, message me, Walking to Destiny, and I will send you a free book. Yeah, why not? It's the 11 actions an owner must take to rapidly grow value and unlock wealth, because it's important, guys. Like, come on, get with the program. And guys, if you message me and we could set up a call, I'm going to talk to you. I'm not going to charge you. Okay. It's up to you whether you want to actually take action. But I am happy. Anybody that's known me and seen my YouTube channel over the last 5 years now knows that I am not afraid to give you free advice. And quite frankly, I've had quite the mindset shift over the last 2 years, where I even tell my employees, like, go get after it, do what you got to do. And I'm not holding anything back. And I'm very excited about that, because the more I can help others, the better it can be for everyone. So, any information that I can give, if I don't know something, I'll tell you that I don't know. But if I do know, I'm going to let you know. Right? Man, I can't remember that other quote that I was thinking of, but I mean, it's a good one. Rich people spend more money. Rich people spend money for more time. Poor people spend time for more money. I tell that to my own employees who work, some of them per hour, by the way. Yeah, that's just a good understanding to have. But that's all we got, guys. 30 minutes is enough for a live, for a freestyle, because that's what this is. It's a freestyle. And what else? Yeah, honestly, message me clarity also if you want to have a real deep dive, but I'd rather have a conversation with you first. As I said, I'm launching this business. We launched literally in June. That's right. Got 16 years experience as an entrepreneur. I've exited a business before, and I scaled a business to 7 figures, but this is new. And we launched just in June, and we're just finishing August. And I'm really crafting the offers more and more each day. And I just want to have a conversation with you to give you all the value that I could possibly have. If you want to decide to come into the community and jump on board and do what you got to do, then that's great. If you don't, you could just always call me back for some more. That's right. Onyx, the man, the myth, the legend. All right, guys, have an amazing week. Like I like to sign off always is, message me if you want that free book. And also have an amazing week. Chill out. Watch 4 movies on a Saturday. I know it's hard if you have a kid. I didn't have my kid at the time. And enjoy your family. Enjoy your time off. Great time to reconnect. Great time to maybe think of some really cool ideas. Don't work over the weekend. You only got one life to live, and you might as well enjoy it and not work yourself to death. Besides, you want to build a business that is not dependent on you anyway. So we'll sign off like that. Love you all. Have an amazing weekend. We will see you next week. See ya. freaking later.